We are live at the Vortex Healing Center for the Vortex Energy Podcast, where we interview great speakers, talk about their spiritual awakenings and what they're doing in the world today on the spiritual and energetic level. So we're really honored to have Carol Ann Matthews with us today. And Carol was married at 19, 4 kids and foster kids. Then her spiritual awakening occurred, and she's been doing this all the time ever since. Does that about sum it up, Carol Ann?
Yes, that's me.
And Sue, I don't remember this. How did you and Carol meet?
We were both on a website called World of Souls, and we started chatting on that originally. And then I think I actually posted something about needing a house sitter.
Yeah.
And Carol put a hand up and came on over in the wet and looked after my Ruby.
Yeah.
And my
was that when you went to Peru, or was that when you went to Mount Shasta?
I think it was Egypt the first time.
Actually. Yes, I did. A couple of times I've been there, yeah.
Janita. Yeah, Carol did it twice.
Okay.
Yes, she arrived. Yeah. She and Gary arrived in their big camper van, and out popped Ruby Sparkle and little my Ruby rat bags. Thought it was Christmas. She had a funny playmate, her size.
Yeah, yeah. And the car was called Ruby.
That was the second time he came, wasn't it? The first time he came with the other two ladies. Yeah, that's right. It rained for 3 weeks or something. 2 weeks.
Something like that. And there was snow and everything, and it was about October or something, and they were freezing the whole time. But they sat in the middle of your house and I said, move out of that space. And that was interesting.
Yeah.
So one of the things that sparked me to really have this call today, Carol Ann, was that a few months ago you did a reading, a channeling of James Tipton, also known as Tib, that Sue and I had met. He brought us together in Machu Picchu, and you spontaneously had done a reading from him. And I wanted to talk about that specific reading, and I know you were chatting about it again today. So let's dive deep into that, and then we'll talk about how you came into channeling and how this all happened for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I call him Ty, because that's what the signature he gave me when he came. He said TYB, and
which is Tib.
Yeah.
Even though it's spelled with a Y.
Yeah. I see. I've done many people who have died over since 2012. I've got a big folder full, and I've done about half a dozen celebrities. And what happens is, before they come or when they die, I get a thought, oh, I'll write their story. And then eventually it takes, with time, it took maybe 2-3 weeks of feelings in my body, aches and pains, different energies, and being agitated, and before I could sit down and write the story. And then I just hear words, and I actually take dictation, which is the thing I hated most at school. I hated dictation at school, but that's what I do. Yeah. That's how I do all my channeling, do everything. Everything is just dictation. So I just write word for word, and that's all I do. And I get understories. I can feel the understory or the emotions or the expanded words and the expanded story. I can get all that as I write. And that's all. That's how I have done it from the first day I started channeling.
And for those listening, when we got this reading off Carol, there was a specific mention of something that only really I and Barbara and I could know. So we definitely recognised Tib's way of writing and talking, and yeah, the stuff. Great job. Oh, our connection is unstable now. Did you send that to us?
And the thing is, most of the time I forget that what I write. I have to go back and read it. And which I haven't done this time because I can't find. No, I've left all my other paperwork at our other house, the other side of Australia. So, yeah. So I don't remember a lot of stuff. I remember a few bits and pieces, but that's relevant for me. So I understand something different. Yeah.
Yeah, look, all true channels are done through the right brain, so it doesn't enter the memory banks. And, you know, again, when I was massaging, I used to work from the right brain, and I had no idea what I'd talk about during the massage. And then I'd ask them all the same questions again when I finished because I didn't remember anything.
Yeah. So that's what happens.
So I was lucky enough to spend some time with Tib not that long before he passed, just before COVID was just hitting, and I got a chance to meet with him a few times in February. And he was, and then we chatted a number of times after he, when he went in for surgery, he went in for heart surgery. But the reality is that by the end he had really died of a broken heart because his wife had passed, and that connection was so deep. You know, so, but what struck me the most about that channel that you spoke with, and we will have that available for people. I'll put a link here. I'm going to make, if you're okay with that, Carol, I'm going to make a PDF so that people can download it because it has some significant information. And in particular, what I enjoyed about that channel you did from Tib was because Tib could often get very wordy, and he would take, I don't know, an hour to say one very important sentence, but I think you've been a bit more succinct than he is, or maybe, and that again is part of the channel. You have to filter what's relevant, what's not relevant. But and I'm sorry, Tib, if I'm offending you. I think you know this already. So, but the main message that I got from your channel reading was that the spread of love and that sharing love was the real key to the universe. And I don't know if you recall that, Carol, if you'd like to talk about that a little bit, or no, you don't recall it.
No, I don't recall it. I do know that when you said he died of a broken heart, I got that as I was writing it. Yeah. My perspective, the thing I remember most of the channel, but this is for me, is we come down here thinking we're individuals and just doing something, and most people don't get it. Is that whatever you're doing up there and you've decided to come here, it's the same job. You're doing exactly the same thing up there, here. And he just come here to be able to walk his work, what he was doing up there, helping to do all the energy centers of Earth and working with them, but he had to walk them to do whatever he needed to do. And everybody who went with him helped him and made the job a lot easier. And in doing that, but he also taught everybody and helped everybody. And that to me is a really defining thing, because I know what we do here is an extension of what we do up there. And we use all the same skills.
Patients being excluded.
Yeah.
Patients is not included. I know I do a lot of grid work in my nightlife and other stuff. So yeah, it's very It's all sounds really good to me. What you're saying, Carol, it's
Yeah.
pushing a few little buttons, saying, "Oh yeah."
And did I hear that there was another connection today that you were channeling Tib, or you were talking about Tib, or did I misunderstand that?
What do you mean? No, I didn't get your questions up. Sorry.
Was there more information that came in just recently that you were talking about this morning regarding Tib?
No, I haven't got any yet. Sue's hoping I will.
Get out of my mind.
No, I haven't got any. No, I haven't. Not that I know at the moment.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah,
So
I
you
was
said-
talking. Yep.
Go
I've got
ahead,
a
I'm sorry.
mosquito. I got a mosquito whizzing around my face.
Yeah. So you said that, was it 2012 that this first started, your channeling? Am I understanding that correct?
No, the no, channeling started in 1999. Who had died and passed over. Yeah, my internet's unstable.
Yeah, I can't tell if
Um,
you're internet or
yeah.
it's cutting out a lot here.
1999,
You're right.
1998. Oh, okay. Is that better?
Yeah,
So tell us a
No?
little bit about how that started for you, Carol.
All right. Well, life as doing my Earth's job started in 1998. And in 1998, we had a meditation teacher who said she'd teach us Reiki. So I went to Reiki, and within a couple of weeks of Reiki, I sat up in bed in the middle of the night and started speaking languages. And Gary sat up beside me and said, "Excuse me, whoever you are, can you speak English?" And that was the beginning of my speaking and channeling. Then progressing over months, in the next 12 months or more, I used to get woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning to learn to hold a pen. No, for them to learn to hold a pen, and I'd colour, and I'd just draw like a kid. Then one day my whole house said, "Pen and paper." It screamed it. My whole house screamed pen and paper. So I searched for pen and paper. I sat down on our massage Reiki table, and it took me probably an hour to write about 10 lines.
We just missed what you wrote about.
It was really hard work. And it hasn't stopped since then.
So tell us about some of the famous people
What did
that you
I
that
write
have come
about?
Tell
Telling me who I was, and the other way back. Now I've got to remember. I don't remember my favorite.
I'm having
one
trouble hearing you at the moment.
is
Smack your computer. Oops. I didn't mean that. Come back.
I think we are going to have to cut this short here. We'll try to get Carol back for another interview at some other time. So thank you all for connecting, and we'll be back another time with Carol Ann.